what's the hardest thing about learning music? The answer is practicing. I do say from time to time that my courses are really excellent, but they're not magical. You don't watch the video of the courses and then all of a sudden magically you're transformed into a greater musician. And I think I'm pretty clear about this from the beginning, because if I had magic powers like that, I'd be charging way more. I'd have to. You'd just be instantly great from watching the courses. And so the trick here is really going to be about establishing a practice routine that works for you and really making that commitment to it. My dream in making these courses was to make the information as easy to access as possible so that all you have to do is sit down and utilize them. Now, when it comes to establishing a practice routine, I have pretty much read every productivity book out there, and almost all of the experts from James Clear to Gretchen Rubin agree you need to start small. Almost all of us have made those dreaded New Year's resolutions to go to the gym or learn a foreign language or lose the dreaded last 10 pounds. And by Valentine's Day, we have fallen off the wagon and feel like a loser. I know you probably think that I have been diligently practicing every day for my whole life. And I hate to burst that bubble, but I have gone through a great many years where daily practice was extremely challenging. When my son was born, I went from having luxurious hours of practice every day to barely touching the piano unless I was teaching. And when my son was a bit older and I had the time in my life to go back to devoting to my music making, I was shocked to discover how hard it was to actually get back into it. Why? Because I was out of the habit. So I made a list of my top tips to get back into the habit, and I have used each one of these myself, and it has really, really made a difference. So maybe you'll find one that resonates with you. Number one, schedule it. In my life, if it doesn't get scheduled, it just doesn't get done. At the start of each week, if you organize on Sunday or if on Friday afternoon, that's the thing that you do for the week ahead, take a look at your calendar and write in when you will do your practicing every day. And when you block out that time, you'll be more apt to actually do it. Number two, pick the right time of day. And here's another personal story. When I started teaching my son to play piano at age 4, I knew that he was going to be way too tired to practice after school. And I wanted to make music something enjoyable and not turn it into like World War III every day. And since he was an early bird, I figured we should probably do it before school. So at 7:30 every morning, we would meet in this studio right here for practice time. And over the course of a couple of months of us establishing that routine, it just became a habit that he did. He would eat breakfast, get dressed, brush his teeth, and then he would sit down to practice piano. And if I can get a squiggly 4-year-old to do it religiously every day, then you can get yourself to try the same thing. So this is the concept of habit stacking. And what you do is you find something that you do every single day and stack your practice either right before or right after. Some examples are if you work from home, maybe you could squeeze in a short practice session right after lunch. It's sort of a time when we're not great energy and you would maybe just sit and scroll. That's a time to do it. If you have a little bit of downtime after you drop the kids off at school, then carpe diem, seize the day. If you pair a regular task with your practice, you'll be more likely to automatically do it. Number 4 is hold all treats until you do your work, okay? This is the practicing equivalent of you can't have dessert until you've eaten your vegetables, okay? If you like to relax in the evenings with Netflix, a glass of wine, or a little Instagram scrolling, or all three, then don't allow yourself to partake in those activities until you have practiced. Now, this is a great way to offer yourself a reward for your work and to make that glass of wine that much more refreshing. Number 5, just do 5 minutes. If you are feeling daunted by a 45-minute practice routine, then just commit to 5 minutes. Set a timer, sit down, and just do something. The 5-minute idea will make it seem less daunting and stressful. And also, when the dinger goes off after 5 minutes, you may find that you've gotten the inspiration and the motivation to keep going. Don't break the chain. This is a game that is credited to Jerry Seinfeld, and apparently he has done this since his early days as a comedian. Every time you practice, make a black X, or in my case, a gold star sticker on your calendar. And the don't break the chain means you want to have that X or that star on every single page of the calendar. And once you've got enough of them there, you won't want to break the streak. And for some people, this can be really, really effective. And Laura Vanderkam talks about it a lot in her various books. For her, she had a running streak that went on for over 3 years that she ran every single day. And so for some of us who are very motivated by that kind of external visual, that can be a great way to keep you on track. The best way to find time in your life is to remove the tasks that are not valuable or could be done by somebody else. Could you cut down on your social media scrolling? Yes, I could. Could you trade out that long phone call with your chatty mother-in-law, maybe just to once a week? Could you hire a neighborhood kid to mow your lawn? Or do you have some kids in your house who you could delegate some household tasks to? Yes. I bet there are a lot of things in your life that could just go. And now is the time to say bye-bye to them so you can make time for what is valuable to you, and that is building your musical skills. What is your why? Maybe you are living out a lifelong dream to play piano. You're building skills so that you can get better gigs. Or you're trying to get your skills together so that you can have more students, get more gigs, so you can actually make more money. Whatever your why, you need to write it down and keep it in your practice area. When you keep your brain on the why, if you keep your heart centered around why you're doing this, it will help you to stay motivated and inspired to practice, even when you don't really feel like it. So the point of any of these tips is to find what works for you. And once you get into the habit of practicing, it really won't be as much effort to do it. Plus, the more you practice, the more your playing and musicianship will improve. And that is the best motivation of all.
Now, friends, to help you to organize your practice and stay on track, I have made some custom Don't Break the Chain charts. And you can see there's 5 of them here. I made a general one that says practice. I will make time to make music this month. You can print this out, write the month in, and then as you go with these, you could scratch them off or circle them. I like to put stickers on mine, but you could do it any way you like. There's one with pianos. There's one with microphones if you're primarily doing singing. And then I have one for bass clef and one for treble clef. So you can choose whichever one inspires you the most and hang it up in your practice area and see if you can make the commitment to make music every day for each month. I have put 28 little icons on each page, which gives you a little bit of grace. If there is a month with 31 days, there's a good chance that things may come up on those 3 extra days. So with this one, you can make the commitment to practicing 28 days every single month, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes at a time. If you want to get one of these for free, you can click the link in the description box below. It will have a link where you can sign up to get your very own inspirational practice. Don't break the chains.